So let's talk a little bit about squaring a club face. So a couple different ways that we see the club get released. The first one is a very active release, and that's where we see people that really roll their hands over, and you have the lead arm kind of go high and then the trail arm get high. The problem with that is that that sort of release creates an excess rotation with the club face, and it's really, really hard to time getting that club face square when you're swinging 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. So what we're looking for is something that's a little more passive, where we're able to set that club face somewhere in the downswing and then be able to maintain that face angle as we just release the arm and then rotate through impact. So essentially I'm going to set the club face here, and then as I release my arm and rotate through impact, you can see how that club face stays very stable. Now let's understand what exactly is a closed, open, or square face. So essentially, when we set up, our club face is going to be even with our spine the entire time. My club face is square here, and I rotate through. You can see how it's even with my spine, or that would be open, or that would be closed. Now, obviously, when we get into golf posture, our spine angle is going to change. But if I've got a square club face right here, and I rotate away, you can see how that's still even with my spine. If I open up that face, right, and I bring it back, now it's no longer even with my spine. So in the swing, when we see people set the club, a square face is where it's even with the club face right there. But if I just bring it straight down, you can see how that's no longer even with my spine. That's in that open position. So somehow we've got to get that club back to being parallel with our spine. And the easiest way to do that is just a swiveling with us. That's where we make a little motion like this. A lot of people call it the knuckles down thing. When I was first learning 35 years ago, a coach had me take a golf ball in my hand, get to the top, and then as I get down, I would have to present that golf ball like this. So if I bring that golf ball and I put it face down so that I would drop it, right, that would be a very open face. So do that same example, right? That's an open face, as opposed to if I hold that, swivel the wrist, you can see how now that club face squares up. So that's one way to put it. More modern way that I see a lot of people do in their channels is you take a cell phone, right, and you ping, and what you want to think is that you're answering a FaceTime call. All right. When we answer the call, we would be like, hi, right, and show them where the golf ball is, because then they're going to know you're practicing golf and not at work. But we want to answer that phone where you're now looking at the screen. And that's that feeling of swiveling the wrist to square the face. So when we're swinging, we're going to go here. Imagine that we are now answering the phone, and now you can see how that kind of presets the hands out into a really good impact position and squares the face for us as well. So if I answered the phone and showed it to the ground, right, you can see how that club face would be wide open and I would hit it a mile right. So we want to get that feeling of being able to either present the golf ball or answer the phone, and that's going to help to put us into a really good impact position with a square face. And from there, all we need to do is rotate through, and that is going to help us keep that club stable throughout the swing and control where the ball is going to go.